That story to bring you the latest details pertaining to our earlier story where the economic freedom fighters in Gauteng had embarked on a march to the Kleinfontein settlement in Tshwane. And of course,
many are wondering what's the main requirement for someone, a South African, to live in Kleinfontein. Could a non-Afrikaner, non-white, could they live here?
I hate anybody with bad intentions in somebody else's land. Worse, somebody that entered illegally. I think if you're going to enter into somebody's country illegally, you must be quiet and do the right thing and follow the law so that they don't see you. I'm the one who was supposed to be making noise because I'm legal. I've got all the paperwork. I was supposed to be going there making noise. You who does not have paper are supposed to be quiet, but you are making noise. Because you need to understand the reason why Afrikaners and their culture is very frail and they are afraid. It's because this culture is not naturally created. It was created out of japaring. Guys, white people don't want to live with black people anymore because they think we are thieves, we are messy, we are uncivilized, we are animalistic. The issue is, what they are not saying is that these people that are behaving like this are the illegal foreigners that they hire for cheap labor.
Of course they could live here, but they would not feel welcome here, right? We can't.
Of course they can live here, but they will not feel welcome here. Is that not exactly what is happening with you guys? The white people don't feel welcomed because it is not your land. The foreigners don't feel welcome because it's not your land. So what are they doing? They are now creating their own mini Lesotho's within South Africa to benefit from the South African economy and natural resources, but excluding South Africans. Yo, what's happening, guys? It's your boy Uncle P, guys. But I needed you guys to watch this. Now, in the previous video, I commented on two comments from our channel, Bodas and this Zimbabwean lady. And I agreed with Bodas when he put up this comment here. Now, Bodas then furthermore went to accuse me that I've been here long enough, I've made enough money, I must leave and go back to my country. And then the comment just went crazy, where it's like, he doesn't care if I'm naturalized, I must leave. And I said, look, I am grateful that people defend me and they're like, Uncle P is one of the good foreigners. Uncle P is one of the great foreigners. He fights for our country. No, he must stay. Nobody must touch Uncle P. Truly grateful. I've got my permanent residency. I've got my green ID book sitting somewhere here. I'm good. I know I'm legal and I've proven it on my channel. How I got my ID. I've gone to Home Affairs. I've done everything just to show you guys that I ain't here just to bullshit anybody. I ain't here to scam no one. And I've never made myself look like I'm any better than any foreigner in this country. I fight for this land and this country because this is where my children are going to grow. This is where I want to retire. This is where my life is. Will I one day go back to Angola? I don't know. Do I want to? It's never been in my plans because I barely speak Portuguese that well. Well, I'm being accused of being Congolese, so maybe I might go to Congo. Hey, guys, look, I'm Angolan, by the way, I'm Angolan. Guys, look, I'm a realist about the realities that are happening in our countries. Guys, we have no hope. Bodas was right. You can't live with people who are used to being violent, uncivilized. People are Boko Haram and all these people. Like, I cannot disagree with somebody who is spitting facts. And most people were like, how can I agree with this guy? Because this guy is being insulting. This guy is saying things. No, but he's right. Naturalized or not, we do not want these people with culture and nature of violence. Boko Haram rebels, child soldiers and ritual killing. You people are blinded. It's not that we hate these people from Africa and Asia, but what we hate from them is their culture. Look at Julius Malema, a product of a Zimbabwean man and a South African lady. Look how vile and violent he is in preaching. South Africa will have Boko Haram rebels, child soldiers, Mugabe, etc. in the future if you keep letting these people to have babies in this country, and your country will turn into Congo, DRC, Nigeria, Somalia one day. He's right. South African women are preferring foreign men because of money, because of lifestyle. And these mixed babies will become the leaders of tomorrow, the leaders of South Africa. Guys, our cultures are dying in our countries because we have no hope. No hope. Preserving your natural state is extremely important. And I'm going to show you guys why that's important. He says a lot more. These people don't have love for people deep in their hearts. Look, that's his opinion. He says a lot. But I want to show you guys that these dangers is not only black people. Because sometimes in my channel, they say that I come after black people, after black foreigners. I hate black foreigners. No, 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 no. I hate anybody with bad intentions in somebody else's land. Worse, somebody that entered illegally. I think if you're going to enter into somebody's country illegally, you must be quiet and do the right thing and follow the law so that they don't see you. I'm the one who was supposed to be making noise because I'm legal. I've got all the paperwork. I was supposed to be going there making noise. You who does not have paper are supposed to be quiet, but you are making noise. And I'll show you guys why South Africa needs to stand against foreigners, legal or illegal. We have to follow a specific kind of law, and South Africa needs to change this apartheid law because it's about to come and bite them in the ass. And here's the evidence.
All right, we're going to come out of that story to bring you the latest details pertaining to our earlier story where the economic freedom fighters in Gauteng had embarked on a march to the Kleinfontein settlement in Tshwane. And of course, the party was saying that the demonstration is a bold stand against what it calls ongoing racial segregation and economic exclusion in a democratic South Africa. And our reporter, Patricia Versage, was just talking to some of the organizers, being the EFF, and we were, of course, awaiting word from the managers of this community. So, Patricia, once again, a very good afternoon to you. What's the latest?
Now, guys, this video is very long, but there's a specific part that I wanted to focus on. First of all, for those of you who don't know, Kleinfontein is another Orania. But this one here, guys, it's a very long video. You can go watch it on SABC News. If you guys want, I can tag it. SABC News, go check it out. I'm going to tag SABC News on this post. These guys basically have created a community just like Orania. The only difference here, they are not even going to be hiring black people. So don't worry about them hiring illegal black foreigners or hiring South Africans and paying them minimum wage. Nope. They are literally, even their gardeners, their builders, their contract, everyone is going to be Afrikaner. They want nothing to do with black people at all. Now, there were specific questions that the interviewer asked that I wanted to focus on. I hope I got my videos in the correct way. This is the first one.
Many are wondering what's the main requirement for someone, a South African, to live in Kleinfontein.
As I mentioned,
She said a South African. Not black, not white, not Zulu, not Xhosa. She says a South African. Let's listen to the response.
cultural community. We want people from our culture to live together because culture, if you do not foster it, is very frail. It's a candle that can be blown out by the wind.
But culture is broad. I want you to bring.
Now, guys, like I said, this interview was long. Before this, he stated that culture is very broad, that you cannot limit a Zulu to a black person.
We believe that culture is rich, it's beautiful, it's deep. The Zulu culture, you cannot reduce that beautiful and rich culture to black. And the same with the Afrikaner culture.
That means that any race can be a Zulu person. But when it comes to the Afrikaners, it's very frail. Now, guys, you need to understand the reason why Afrikaners and their culture is very frail and they're afraid. It's because this culture is not naturally created. It was created out of japaring. Meaning they left their land, they came to somebody's land and they stayed by force and created a culture which now they are forcing to sustain. I want you guys to continue to listen and see how this and foreigners are all a problem.
Break it down. What's the main, if I had to come and knock on your door and I say I want a house here, what would be the requirements that I would have to meet in order for me to get a house here?
100%. So we want people from the Afrikaner culture to come and live here. And I know that you say it's broad, but culture is broad, right? Christian, Afrikaans, religious, respectful of our ways, respectful of our days, respectful of the way that we live, respectful of cleanliness, respectful of respecting other people's property. So if you look outside, that's not what we see here, Patricia. And that's the unfortunate.
Respecting of other people's properties. If you look outside, this is not what, guys, white people don't want to live with black people anymore because they think we are thieves, we are messy, we are uncivilized, we are animalistic. The issue is, what they are not saying is that these people that are behaving like this are the illegal foreigners that they hire for cheap labor, that they have let into the country. But everybody is getting a slack. Now, somebody's going to be like, okay, but Uncle P, what does this have to do with what you've been talking about in this video? Now listen to this part and see how everybody benefits in South Africa, about South Africans, and why South Africa belongs to everyone, and why South Africans will never, ever own land, especially now, since everybody is looking for a safe haven, and South Africa seems to be the one land that everybody can afford.
Unfortunate, but there's much more.
Could a non-Afrikaner, non-white, could they live here?
Of course they could live here, but they would not feel welcome here, right? We can't.
Of course they can live here, but they will not feel welcome here. Is that not exactly what is happening with you guys? The white people don't feel welcomed because it is not your land. The foreigners don't feel welcome because it's not your land. So what are they doing? They are now creating their own mini Lesotho's within South Africa to benefit from the South African economy and natural resources, but excluding South Africans. Let's continue to listen because this gets super interesting.
Refuse. We're in South Africa. But we can, in terms of our own constitution, we can build our own. And
we can't refuse, but we can in terms of our own constitution. Not according to the South African constitution, not according to the constitution of South Africa, but according to our own constitution. Guys, we gotta start speaking English. He knows this constitution is theirs. Now listen to this constitution and what they are able to do. I just want to rewind this just a little bit.
Our own constitution, we can build our own. And they refer to section 235, that's this lost section of the constitution. That's not true. If you read the whole constitution, you will find a lot of gems that speak to each other.
So apparently there's a section of the constitution which apparently is supposed to be lost, but it's not true, it's there. And if you look into the constitution, you will find some gems. So what does it say? They put things within the constitution that protects them. It's like a programmer when he's creating a program. a computer program. They always create a virus so that if the client doesn't pay them, or if one day they are broke, they can make the software act funny so the client can come for an update, for a repair, so they make more money. This is what the white men did. They knew that one day them being white South Africans was no longer going to be enough. Being a South African was going to dominate. Being a white South African, being a citizen of South Africa, or being a permanent resident of South Africa. Being a South African was going to dominate. And guys, you need to realize those are two different things. Zulu, Xhosa, Vendas, Tswana, Ndebele, all the South African cultures, excluding the white people, they can say, I am South African. But the white men will always say, I am white South African. They can claim to be Africans, but I can tell you there is no other country outside South Africa they can go to that they will say, oh, look, white South African. They will be called white European. We will not recognize them as white South Africans, because there is no such thing as a white South African outside South Africa. And this is the reality that you need to accept. But they have put laws in place to protect them, because they know their existence is not natural. They have no home. They have no land. They have no place to go. So this notion that one day Afrikaners or what, they will go to America to go what, it will never happen. But they knew this day was coming, and he proves it. Let's continue to listen.
Also, Section 31, for example, brilliant, beautiful, where a cultural community can exist and foster itself. And that's what we want to achieve. And again, that stems from an agreement that was a 1994 agreement when South Africa was on a powder keg and on the verge of blowing up. The Afrikaners, the Boer people, and the then government, the old NP government, and the ANC sat down with America and Britain as witnesses. And we spoke to each other. We said, let's prevent a war in this country. And that agreement was reached and concluded and signed between those parties. So the government of today, the government of then, agreed that the Afrikaner can
separately develop.
Yes. Well, it's
he's trying to deny. Well, he's trying to deny it. Yes, separately develop. The apartheid government and the now government agreed. If South Africa ever reached a stage where the Afrikaners started feeling that their culture was being threatened, that they no longer could do as they wish, that they were losing the power that they had, the privilege that they had, they could choose to isolate themselves and do as they please in their private lands, which we all know they own over 70-80% of South Africa. So now they are just taking all those land that they own and they're creating their own communities. And most of those lands are where the farms are. This law doesn't only protect white South Africans, it also protects black foreigners. Here in South Africa, there is Congolese communities, Nigerian communities, areas called Lagos. There is Zimbabwean communities, Mozambican communities. Once upon a time, Rosentonville and Bedfordville used to be known as Angolan community. Ethiopian, Somalian, every culture in South Africa has a community. Now, from the previous video, all the foreigners that are now questioning me every time they see me in public, they say, why are you saying this about foreigners? Why are you? I have one question for you. Name any South African community in your country. Bring me videos and bring me receipts of a South African community in your country. Guys, I'm not asking for the impossible. My channel is not doing anything but exposing bad people. There is no way you can defend this lady. There's no way you can defend foreigners and the acts they do in South Africa. America is now, you know what, guys, I'll see you guys in the next episode because this is getting interesting. I'm your boy Uncle P. See you guys in the next one. Cheers.
We engage with each other with a purpose of trying to understand each other. A lot of slurs were hurled towards Kleinfontein that, for example, they are welcome to come and work here, their parents work here, sweat here, but they're not entitled to stay here, which is not true. Kleinfontein as a cultural society do our own work. It's our own people that work in the gardens, it's our own people that work in the houses, the construction is done by our own people. It's Afrikaners that do everything. And that's a false pretense that was posed to the people here, that we reach back to the old slavery or to the old apartheid. It's not that. This is a cultural community. We do our own dirty work and we clean our own trash. It's not like it used to be. And that's the important difference.